No, it's not your employees that are hindering your success. But it's not necessarily you either. Placing blame just isn't going to move you forward, right? It's such a waste of time. And that sounds really strange coming from a lawyer, I'm sure. But I have in my life a computer programmer who loves to remind me that when we get stuck, it's just an interesting problem, right? You can imagine if he's writing code and he just throws his hands up and says, oh, it's somebody else's fault. He's never going to get to the code that actually runs the system. And that's something that's been super helpful for me as well. I'm Nancy Schick of Third Year Conflict Resolution, and let's focus on solutions. In my last video, I asked you to make those 7 choices again when you're dealing with, in particular, an employee who frustrates you. So how'd that go? Maybe you missed the last video, so I'll put a link to that in the notes to this video. And then if you had that, try it out, you can make your comments to that video. Either way, if you did something like that, or you want to do it right now where you're forgiving yourself, clearing your mind, and listening for those hurts you can heal with this frustrating employee, then you should start to see some new potential for resolution. So now we can move into those 5 actions. And the first one is to define the conflict succinctly. So not just, oh, I hate that employee. I don't like the way they wear their hair or how they dress or whatever external thing that you tend to focus on when you can't figure something out, right? That's the easy route, is to just find something you don't like about them, decide that they're a bad person, and I'm going to just terminate them. But as you can probably tell from working with me and watching these videos, that's not what I'm going to encourage you to do. So I want you to use the framework of give the name of that employee that you've got in your mind and say that employee's name, and then I disagree about blank. And it could be the attendance, the priorities in the work. Maybe it's their professional dress or the way they talk. Now go back to those 7 choices, right? You've defined that succinctly. Go back to those 7 choices and just start allowing some new ideas for resolving this very, very specific conflict. Now, I'm going to keep going through this step by step with this type of conflict. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below. If you want to fast forward, because this is taking too long for you, I'll also put a link for the book in those notes. And in the meantime, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.